Okay guys, so we're going to cover some tips when you're just starting out in training in Jiu-Jitsu, and I want to have on this library some discussions on proper etiquette and the right way to approach the game. So first thing we'll start with is setting goals. Okay, so whether you're doing Jiu-Jitsu for fitness or hobby, which is the majority of people, or you have competition aspirations, either way it's important to have a goal and know the road that you have ahead of you. So typically to get to a black belt level in Jiu-Jitsu, probably the average time of training is anywhere from 10 to 12 years. And some people will get there in 8, some people will get there in 7, some people quicker, some people in 15, 14. It depends on your setbacks, but the realistic scenario is that there's going to be setbacks in your life and you're going to have disruptions in your training. And the important thing is just to realize it's a long run, a long road ahead of you, and that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So that when you start out, you don't want to burn out in the first year and a half. And a lot of people do that. I think that's the first victim of the Jiu-Jitsu world, is they get really excited, they take their first intro class, they sign up, they buy 6 gis, and they're in here every single day, sometimes twice a day, and not that many people can handle that kind of pace. And if they do try to cut back, then they start feeling like it's a mental failure because they're starting out basically coming in 4 or 5 days a week, and all of a sudden now they're coming in 3 or 4 times a week, and it's tough to get over that hurdle. You could always start out, always suggest 3 days a week. Allow your body to get used to the vigors of grappling, and your body needs to get in shape for it. And also, as you start getting technically better, you're not grinding it out so much on the mat, and you're not using so much energy, so it's easier to actually at that point train more without getting so physically exhausted. So better to start out easy and then increase your mat hours as you progress in the sport, instead of the opposite, where you're front loading all your hours on the mat and then burning out before you even get to a purple belt level, which would be the middle of the road. So usually purple belt level is right in the middle, so you don't want to burn out before you get to that purple belt level. So that's a really important thing, is to set goals, set timelines for yourself, and be patient. Really be patient with your progression in the sport. You don't want to be hard on yourself. You don't want to come in thinking that you're supposed to be beating this person because you started before him. All that stuff is really bad. It's just mental energy for yourself, and it's not helpful. The important thing is that you're still training 7, 8 years from then. Where a lot of the people that started out, that are kind of moving through the ranks with you, are no longer in the sport. And if they're no longer in the sport, then you're obviously gonna, in the long run, you're going to be much better. So that's important things. Think long term, set goals, and also your attitude. Your attitude is super important. You don't want to have a chip on your shoulder and worry about tapping out and come in thinking that you need to be a tough guy. That'll just lead to injuries, and people aren't going to want to train with you, and you're going to be like the spastic new guy that everyone tries to avoid. And you want to come in and be loose, and you definitely want to go for it. And we'll talk about training attitude and the best way to train and get better in a different video. But having a good attitude and just being open-minded is, everyone's going to want to train with you and everyone's going to want to help you. But if you come in trying to take everyone's head off and trying to beat everyone, people are just going to have to then smash you, and nobody's really going to want to help you out that much because you just don't have the right attitude. It's kind of disrespectful. If I'm in a boxing match with a guy and he's boxed for 12 years, I'm not gonna knock him out. It's just not gonna happen. He's got 12 years experience, I have nothing. So my attitude should be, working with him, trying to be as coachable as possible. So setting goals, being coachable, and also hygiene. Okay, hygiene is a really important thing that's not talked about that much. There's a lot of very dangerous things that you can get. Staph infections are definitely on the rise. So you need to be really diligent about washing your equipment, washing your knee pads, trimming your nails, trimming your toenails, taking showers, bathing right after you're done with, right when you're done with your workout. Hopefully your facility has showers and you can just shower right away. And there's a lot of great products out there. One of our students actually started a company called the Armbar Soap Company, and it's a great product for just, it's all natural, and it's great for just preventing ringworm and staph. But you also got to check your skin. It's your responsibility to check your skin, make sure you don't have ringworm or staph infections, and don't bring that on the mat and give it to all your training partners. So really important to have good hygiene, set goals, have a good attitude. Those things are really going to set you on a good path when you start Jiu-Jitsu.